I know I'm that girl, so to be associated in this mess is insanity. Pod with Meg. Three, two, and one. Hey, 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 hey. Hey guys, it's Meghane Lex and welcome to my channel. If you're back, you're a nutmeg, and if you're new, unfortunately, you're just a nut. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Happy holidays. I'm wearing this festive lucky green shirt. Juicy Couture, hello. But this story is the opposite of lucky because when I tell you this is crazy, it's crazy. So where do I even start?
I mean, where the f should I really even start?
Yeah, guys, I'm getting right into it. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up because this story, I'm telling you guys, I need it. I need it real bad. I need it real bad. So please show some love to this video, please. That will literally make my day, make my night, make my life. Please do. Give it a like, subscribe, notifications, comment, all that. All right, let's get into it. I'm like trying to get comfortable because this is a long story. So around this time last year, it's December 16th. But yeah, so I met this guy around the way my voice gets high pitched because it's getting deep. So I met this guy around this time last year. December 13th is actually the day we met. Not me getting into the specifics, but yeah, so we met around this time last year. And okay, let me just make sure the audio and everything's good. I'm so nervous that I'm just so nervous. Okay. We met around this time last year, and for the last year, we've been, talking. He lives like 4 minutes away from me, so we're like basically neighbors. He calls us neighbors, which I think is kind of cute and everything. But yeah, so we've been, talking, whatever, whoop-de-doo. We have tried to stop talking, but oh my gosh, this shirt looks so tight on me because it low-key is. And we have tried to stop talking, but we always kind of get drawn back to each other. Like, we'd always run into each other out and stuff like that. And I actually talked about him in my last video or in my recent podcast, Dating Horror Stories. I talked about him then. He is my ex is here guy. And then there was another guy I met, but it was like, we met, hung out briefly, and I was like, was it him? Like, I literally did not know who my ex was that I was talking about. I'm like, who could it be? There's only two guys that I'd recently, kind of like talked to or like kind of formed a connection with. That could have been the mystery ex I was talking about. And I just could not remember. I literally was like, what? Who was I talking about? And so if you watch that story, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we have been talking on and off for like the last year or whatever. When you just... Yeah, I don't know. We just have this connection. Like, we'd be texting each other. I was just thinking about you at the same time, stuff like that. And I don't know. I just felt like we had a certain connection. I really, really, really liked him and everything. So, yeah, it was cutesy bootsy. And I don't know. We just spoke the same language. You know when someone just speaks your language? Now you're talking my language. Now you're talking my language. But yeah, I feel like we just spoke the same language and everything. So fast forward, my best friend, like one of my first friends, literally probably my first out of school friend, because I came out here to Los Angeles for college. So one of my first out of school friends, he introduced me to this girl who was throwing a Christmas party. And it was a very small party, not like the Great Gatsby, like I like large parties. Small parties, there's no privacy.
He gives large parties, and I like large parties. They're so intimate. Small parties, there isn't any privacy.
Large parties are more intimate, if you guys know that Great Gatsby quote. But yeah, super small party, literally 6 people, 5 girls. She invites me. I was like so touched because she's very cool, and I actually ran into her last year on New Year's. We rode home together. It was a vibe. So she invites me to her holiday party, and I, for some reason, so she actually... So, in the city of Los Angeles, there's this thing called Coachella. It's the festival of the year. People rent out houses, all these things. So, I remember earlier this year when Coachella was happening, I was in LA, I was enjoying Los Angeles. Apparently, being in LA during Coachella time is lame. But hey, I was enjoying my time in Los Angeles. I had work to do out here or here. So I was here while people were in Coachella. And so the girl who was hosting the party, let's call her the hostess because she was the hostess with the mostest. So the hostess of this holiday party, she was at the same Coachella house, or she was taking pictures at the same Coachella house as my ex is here guy. Let's just call him my ex because that's what he is. Ex next. And so she is. Oh my God, this story is just so crazy that my mind is like, and it just happened. It literally happened last night. This literally happened last night. This is the nightmare before Christmas, I'm telling you. The nightmare before the Christmas party, to be completely honest. So she was at the same house, or she was posting pictures at the same house as my ex. And so I remember that, but I hadn't seen her for like a minute. I actually saw her recently, but I mentioned my ex to her, and she was like, oh, I don't know who that is. But then I was like, wait, but like, let me ask her again because maybe I didn't ask her, we were at a party. Some people, you know what I mean? When you ask someone something at a party, they're not really with it, you know what I mean? So I don't know why. Knowing she was there with my ex and me and my ex had just gone through so many ups and downs and loop-de-loops and everything, I was getting anxiety and I'm like, oh my gosh, if she knows him or if she was at the same Coachella house as him, maybe people at her party will know him. I was thinking about this all week. All week, I had terrible anxiety, and the weekend before, I had terrible migraines. That time of the month was nearing, and I was having terrible migraines. But honestly, I had never had migraines like that. I was in bed from like Friday afternoon after work till Sunday morning. I could not get out of bed, horrible migraines. And you know who else had migraines? Khloe Kardashian on the Kardashians when Tristan was caught cheating. Right before it got found out that Tristan was cheating, Khloe Kardashian had migraines. So Khloe, I look blurry. I literally look like I'm having a migraine. The camera knew. The camera knew what to do. So Khloe, I feel you. Migraines, like I feel you. Also, check out my Good American code right down in the bio. Check out my Good American code to get some Good American cute jeans or sweaters or tank tops or bodysuits, all that. Use my code, hey. But yeah, so I was getting migraines the weekend before, and knowing that the holiday party was approaching, I don't know why. I don't usually get anxiety like that for parties. Like, I don't really get social anxiety that bad anymore. Like, I'm an adult, I'm grown. Like, I overcame that. Bye. Even though it's still scary. But I don't know. I had terrible anxiety all week. Now I know why. It's finally the day of her party, and honestly, I was so close to canceling. I was so tired. I hit my head the day before. I was going to yoga class, and I was grabbing a book from my locker at yoga. Like, I was gonna be, demure, mindful, gonna read a book. Sometimes I like to get to yoga class early just to, like, really get the therapeutic motion going. And so I was like, okay, with my early time, let me read a book. So I was like debating, should I get the book? Should I not get the book? I get the book. Boom, I hit my head on the locker as I get up and grab the book. So I literally fall to my knees. I can't go to my yoga class. So I hit my head. I was not feeling well. I actually had work later that day and literally almost fainted. I was like, I need to go outside. I'm going to throw up. Help. And yeah, like the day I hit my head, it was not a fun day, just my luck. And then also I find out that ex-boy is out of the country in Brazil. So I'm like, oh. And my best friend had just moved out. Michael, I miss you. Shout out, Michael. Just moved back to the East Coast. So I was like, okay, this is not my week at all. So fast forward, it's the day of the holiday party. And I'm just like, I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm so tired. My head hurts. I'm not feeling it. But something in my soul was like, let me go. I RSVP'd. It's a small party. Let me just go. I haven't seen her in a while. I've known my best friend. So I've known her around the same time I've known him, like 6-7 years. And so I'm like, okay, like I have to go. So I go, and it's kind of far. It's like all the way in like 20-30 minutes for me. Like, and I hate driving. It's almost as bad as driving in Hollywood. Think driving in Times Square, like not a fun time. But so yeah, I drive over there, and it's me and this girl. We're the first ones to get to the party. And so the hostess introduces us, and this whole situation is literally John Tucker Must Die vibes. So the name I give this girl is going to be a name from John Tucker. I'm literally Googling it right now. Okay, yeah. So this girl was giving Ashanti's character Heather vibes. So yeah, her name is Heather for the story. So the hostess introduces me to this girl Heather. So I'm like, oh hi, like my name is Megan, blah blah blah. So the hostess during the party, she was right next to Whole Foods. So I parked my car there because I didn't bring my card with me, and I had my Whole Foods app so I could use validation. This is not a sponsorship, by the way. And so I could use validation there and get something from there and then use their validation. So I parked there. And so we had some time to spare while we were waiting for everyone else to come. So I'm like, oh yeah, I parked at Whole Foods. And then Heather, the hostess's friend, it's just me and Heather, she's like, oh, I actually want to get some stuff at Whole Foods. And I'm like, oh, I actually want to go there so I can get validation for my parking. So then the hostess is like, okay, I'll just wait here for everyone else to come. So it's just me and this girl, Heather. It's our first time meeting. And I'm like, oh, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're like grocery shopping together. You know, we're like tight. We're like friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's moving kind of fast. So we're grocery shopping, blah, 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 talking, la, 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 you know, vibing. We're like in Whole Foods for like a minute because it's on a busier side of town. So there's a lot of people at that Whole Foods. So then we go back upstairs. So then I see my friend, my bestie, Matthew. He's there.
And with her, friends Matthew and Megan. Our next celebrity captain played an NBA exec in Hustle and a weird...
So we catch up and everything. Yeah, so then there's like two more girls there and everything. So, you know, we're all talking, blah, 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 eating, snacking. I brought my mochi ice cream because, you know, I'm a good guest. You always gotta bring something to a party. People who show up to a party empty-handed, no, you gotta show up with something, especially holiday party. You gotta bring the snacks. So yeah, we're all snacking and everything. Me and my bestie are catching up. The one who introduced me to the hostess, he's like asking me about my love life, and I'm telling him, oh, my ex-boy literally is out of the country. He moved out of the country for like the winter time. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about it right now. He's like, why? And I'm like, don't mention his name, like seriously. Don't mention his name, like we'll talk about it later. We're all like kind of like, you know, making conversation and everything. So I have 90-minute validation. So the 90 minutes is kind of like approaching. So me and my bestie go to Whole Foods again to move my car so that I can like get 90 more minutes. So yeah, we go back to Whole Foods and everything, have like a little excursion, listen to Wicked on the way back to Whole Foods, we can make a little roundabout. It's a fun little journey.
Share your what is feeling so sudden and new.
It's a vibe. And so we're watching a movie because my friend is like throwing her party inside like this movie room. So the 90 minutes is approaching and I'm like, oh guys, I have to move my car. It's 90 minutes. I have to like move it to like get 90 more minutes. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the girls is super sweet. She's like, oh, do you guys want us to pause it while you guys are gone? And I'm like, oh no, you guys keep the movie on, whatever. So then we park and everything and we low-key take a long time, but it was perfect timing. So we come back and the movie's actually paused. Like it was really nice of them and they're all talking about like toxic guys and everything. So this girl, Heather, the one I was at Whole Foods with earlier that night, the first person I got to the party with. Whole Foods moment, everything, Heather girl. So she starts talking and she's like, oh, there's this guy who hooked up with my friend, like my best friend, while she was visiting me from out of town. Actually, this girl, one other girl was talking. Let's call her Carrie. Because there's a Carrie in John Tucker Must Die. I'm going to insert a clip from John Tucker Must Die so you guys can see the vibes of what this night was giving.
What the hell is your problem? I am dating John Tucker.
Hello.
Hey, Kate. It's me. John Tucker.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
And so, yeah, let's call this girl Carrie. She was the blonde girl. Yeah, so this girl Carrie is like, oh, she actually starts off the conversation. And then Heather girl, she introduced and she's like, oh, actually, I have a similar story. And she's like, yeah, this girl, like, she knew about this guy. Like, I was showing this guy's Instagram when we were, like, on FaceTime. She acted like she didn't know I was talking to this guy, but she knew. I talked about him all the time, da-da-da. Like, I literally would take videos with this guy and be like, oh, let's call this guy Joker because that's actually my nickname for what me and my friends would call this guy when we would see him out, Joker. And he's a fucking joke. So let's call him the Joker. So she says, oh yeah, like Joker. Like I'd be like Joker. And then I go, huh? What did you say?
What did she say?
Wait, what did you say? And she's like, Joker. And I'm like, what's Joker's last name? And then she goes, she says the guy's last name. And I'm like, I look at my friend Matthew, like, what? And this is the same guy from my Dating Horror Stories podcast. I'm telling you, check it out.
Flashback.
So she's asking me, she's like, oh, do you know any of the guys here? And I actually did know a guy that I had recently, like, met, But like, so we met and he was trying to hook up and I was not trying to hook up with him. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm not easy. Let's just part ways, like whatever. But me and this guy did have a good connection. So then when I see her in line again and she's like, oh, do you know anyone here? I look at the guy and I'm like, oh, no, I don't. Is your guy here, the guy you were talking about? And then she's like, yeah, he's the one standing by the bathroom. I look over. It's the same guy I was not trying to claim. Literally, what are the odds? Like, LA is one of the biggest cities, but still one of the smallest towns. It's so crazy. So when she said that, I was like, got it. Literally, like, internally freaking out, but, you know, trying to keep my poker face on. So then I see that guy again, like, minutes later, and he's, like, touching my...
End of flashback.
Same guy who I was in a similar situation with, where the girl was like, oh, we were talking about the same guy. She's like, oh, he's right there by the bathroom. This is the same guy I'm talking about. Almost a year later, same thing is happening. I couldn't believe it.
This is not what I want. This is not what I planned. I do not understand.
I couldn't believe it. So then she starts talking about this guy and she's giving me full on detail about this guy. I literally like want to cry right now because it's like I was in such shock. I literally started tearing up. Like, you know when your body is in such shock? You know that feeling when the whole world goes mute because what you're literally hearing about right now is like, what? No, literally, like what just happened on the camera, that is what I felt like. My whole world just went like silent. Like my ears, like I feel like people were talking and like I know I sound so dramatic right now. Like literally I'm like, oh, but no, but seriously, this is what I felt like. And I am not someone who falls for the games easily. I am the female player, as Spencer Pratt said about Kristen Cavallari. Like,
she's the real deal female player, if I've ever seen one.
Wow, I don't think anyone's ready for Kristen to come.
Not to toot my own horn, but I am the female player. You cannot outplay me. Like, I'm always 1,000 steps ahead. I can't even speak. I'm always 1,000 steps ahead. I always know what's going on before it even happens. I'm like, that's our Raven. I see the future.
Yeah. Yep, that's me.
And not to be cocky, like, I'm humble as pie, but like, I always know. So the fact that this girl caught me so off guard, and also it was the fact that even before this guy got brought up, my friend was like trying to bring him up a little bit because he knows obviously about everything, like he knows everything, and so he was trying to bring him up to see if like anyone knew anything because he knew that I knew, like he just knew, and so he was trying to bring the guy up, and I was like, stop, seriously, don't bring him up. So the fact that despite me not bringing this guy up at all, not trying to like talk about him, literally I was not going to entertain him at all that night. Wow, I was completely shocked. It hurts so bad. So she's like saying, yeah, they're like friends with benefits. Like they made an agreement that they can hook up with other people. And it was so crazy. And I think the last time it was a thing was like a year or two ago. But the way she was talking about it was like almost like she still likes him. And when she said his last name, me and my friend looked at each other and it was so obvious that I knew this guy and like I obviously really liked him. And I appreciate her honesty and everything. Like, I so appreciate it. I had to hear all of that. But it was almost like she was kind of being smug about hooking up with him in the past and knowing that, like, she was like, oh, yeah, you're his type. And I'm almost like, oh, well, thank you. Apparently, like, everyone is. My whole world paused. And she's telling me about how this guy hooked up with her roommate, her best friend. Everything I'm hearing, I'm like, granted, it was before he met me. I'm just still like, wow. Like, I literally started to tear up. Like, I was so shocked. And then the hostess is like, wait a minute. I met this guy at Coach. Someone's calling me right now. I don't know who that is. Oh, when it all clicks together that like it's literally the guy I was talking to a week ago, everyone's just like, the whole crowd gasped. Like it was insane. Everyone was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It was crazy. Like literally, it was like when you're watching a show or like a movie and an argument or like a conversation starts and then all of a sudden everyone started having side conversations like, oh my god, wait, what? Are they together? Wait, like is she dating this guy? Like it was insane. Like it was insane. Straight out of a movie. Like MTV and Bravo producers couldn't write this shit themselves. Like it was seriously out of a reality show. It was insane. And so she's telling me this, and as she's telling me all of this, someone else had told me that he was dating a girl around the same exact time. So I'm like, wait a minute. This girl was the side girl when he had a full-on girlfriend. And this girl was telling me that he was hooking up with her roommate and all these other girls. So I'm like, he was cheating, but then also had these side, like, it was so messy.
Messy. That's how I shoot my shot.
So messy. And I'm like, how did I end up here? Like, why? Like, it's hard being the main character sometimes because this is literally traumatic. It's traumatic because this could have been a random name. Like, it could have been anyone. LA is big. California is one of the biggest states. Like, isn't it almost as big as Texas? I don't fucking know. But and I'm like, just like, the fact that she said the same guy who I've been like talking to for the past year is insane. Oh my gosh, she's like telling me all this tea, piping hot tea, telling me about his roommate being a creep. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes, my ears, everything was too much for me to bear. And I think literally after like 5 to 10 minutes, I had to get out of there. I was like, I'm leaving. And also granted, I was on a timer for the parking. It was literally like godsend. That the party was amazing, it was cute, but once you hear that the guy you love has the most treacherous past and is texting, oh my gosh, yes, I lost my train of thought. And so then the hostess with the mostest is like, oh wait a minute, I met this guy at Coachella, pulls out her DMs, this guy's texting her, hi, like hi babe, swiping up on her story, when are we going to hang out, are you coming to this club tonight for the party? First of all, ew, thirst bucket. And it was like recent too. It was like a month or two ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, we just reconciled. Like, what? This guy hooked up with one of the girls at the party. And this guy is DMing the hostess of the party. Desperate as desperado. And she's like ignoring like literally all his text. Yeah, after that, I was like, I need to leave. I had to go.
And I love you. But I have to go.
Thankfully, I was on the timer. Yeah, I had to leave after that. I was there probably for like 2 hours. Yeah. Everyone probably left like 3 hours after me. I had to go. I could not sit there and hear this girl talk about hooking up with this guy. I think it's like, we've told each other I love you. Like, it wasn't just like a random hookup or anything. We've built a connection, or so I thought. Who knows with this guy? Who knows? But yeah, it was a nightmare. It was the nightmare before, after, during. It was literally like in A Christmas Carol when you have like the ghosts of Christmas past, present, future, like literally, what? And it's so funny because this guy kind of looks like Matthew McConaughey, and there's a movie that Matthew McConaughey is in where he has like the ghost of like Christmas past or something. And I actually watched it with one of my sneaky links recently, so that's so funny.
I'm here to warn you, kid. Tonight you're gonna be visited by 3 ghosts.
Look away. You're dead.
But yeah, this guy really had me bamboozled, and I don't get bamboozled easily. So I'm just like, wow. And I'm not even trying to be smug or cocky with it. I don't get bamboozled easily. Like, I've been in the game too long. I'm only 25, but I know the game. Like, you do not outplay me. You simply do not outplay me. You don't outplay me. Like, I know the game. My confidence is the scariest. Confidence the scariest.
Confidence the scariest. Sicker than a variant.
Like, my confidence is unmatched. Sorry, but like, I need my pep in my step right now. Like, I know I'm that girl, so to be associated in this mess is insanity. So close to the holidays too. I used to love Christmas, but the older I get, the sadder it is. Like, but the thing is, I always meet someone like really good around Christmas. Wow. And it's so crazy too because this time last year, like when I first met this guy, I was at this like lounge. My promoter friend was telling me how this guy is like such a boy, was literally telling me to stay away, warning me so hard about this guy. This time last year, literally this exact same day last year, if I look at my Snapchat memories, me and my friend were at this lounge the same exact day as this party. Literally the same exact time, this time last year, I was getting warned about this guy. Full circle moment. This girl is giving me in detail, full depth, full details about this guy. I'm seeing this guy DM the hostess of this party. And this guy's out of the country right now, so I can't even like go over there and be like, what the f are you talking about? What the f are you doing? Do you think I'm some fool? Like, what the f?
And yelling cut when it's shooting time.
And so now all I can do is just like focus on myself, which I should be doing always. Always just focus on yourself. Don't ignore the red flags, because I wish if I had listened back then, I probably would have saved myself so much heartache, so much disappointment, because now I'm just like, was it real? I don't know what's real, what's fake. Granted, like this girl, like this was before he met me, but he's literally been recently DMing hostess girl. Like granted, we're not dating, but it's like, what? And it's like, there were 5 girls at this party. 3 of the 5 girls you DM with, you have like some like, that's like a over 50% chance. Hey Siri, what's the percentage of 3 out of 5? 67? Divided by 5 is 0.6. 60% chance. This is literally like raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Regina George.
How many of you have ever felt personally victimized by Regina George?
This was literally a scene out of a chick flick. So crazy. I hope I explained the story well because it's still so fresh. It's so crazy. And yeah, like when I was leaving, I was just like, yeah, thank you so much. I gave everyone a hug. I like gave this girl a hug and I'm like, okay, yeah. Thank you so much for the piping hot tea. I'm literally like paralyzed with shookedness. And I'm so shocked. Wow. Wow. Because I really, like, me and this guy did have really cute and special moments. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe. And it's like, I can't even have, like, a face-to-face conversation with him because he's out of town, out of the country. It's just so crazy. And it's so, yeah, it's wild. Truly wild. You can't make this shit up. You can't write this shit. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. Like, the overlapping LA, big city, but small-ass town. Truly. And it's like, I was meant to hear it. Like, the way me and my friend took so long reparking my car, being at Whole Foods, the fact that, like, everyone stopped watching the movie, the fact that that was a topic of discussion, like, the fact that that girl said his name and I was like, I literally thought I was hallucinating. I was like, come again? What? You said what? Who? Huh?
Who? You been where? Where who?
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, so that is the nightmare before. Oh my gosh. I almost just broke it down. There goes my luck again. But yeah, so that's the story time. I'm trying to think of like what else to say, but I literally have no other words. I have no other words. I held the mic up right to my mouth this time. I'm like, this will be heard. But yeah, like the universe really showed me what I had to see on Sunday too, the blessed day. The fact that I had so much anxiety all week. And yeah, trust your gut. At the end of the day, like, there's no L's. I never took a loss, only lessons. And listen to the warning signs. When people are warning you about something or someone, listen to that. Like, that is the universe warning me. Just like the universe warned me with this information, there are so many times in life where there's been warning signs. It's like you just have to listen because it really does help you in the long run. It does. It does. Yeah. But thank you all so much for listening. Drop a comment for what you guys want to see or hear next, or see and hear next. But if you're listening, thank you for listening. If you're watching, thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great night, day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Love you all. Give this video a big and juicy thumbs up.
Hands up in the air.
Hey. Turn on your notifications. Hey, hey, hey. Follow me on all my social media. Oh yeah. Hey, 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 hey. And yeah, I literally don't know what to say. I'm still shocked. I'm still in the like shocked / denial phase. Not denial because it's happening. It's real. Like, I feel like me and this guy were kind of in this fantasy world, and now like Snap back to reality. Snap back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. Oop, there goes gravity. He's so mad, but he. That's how I feel right now. Yeah. And it's like, I could be down and depressed and in the dumps, but I'm not gonna allow that. I'm not gonna allow anyone to control my destiny. That is up to me always. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I love you all. Thank you so much, Megs, for watching. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a great night, day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. Love you guys. Mwah. Toodles. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Gotta go by. Maybe it's time to go by.
Happy New Year. Bye. Gosh, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Just when you think it's not gonna get crazier or worse, it does. It does. It literally does. It does. And you know how last time I was like, oh my gosh, I love him, I'm so sad. Him, that guy, he's a loser, he's a dirty, dirty dog, he's a pig, he's a sleaze. I do not give one about that guy. I don't give a fuck about you, and I don't even worry about you, but let's not get shit confused. I don't give a shit about you.
Nah, I don't give a fuck about you, and there's one thing I gotta do, but I ain't fuck.
Whip, whip. I'm too classy for this world. Forever I'm that girl.